Well, hi everyone. Hi, happy Thursdays. Is everybody able to hear me and see me? Hello, hello, happy Thursdays. It is I, Whimsy, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. I'm here in my kitchen and in my professional medicinary. As many of you know, I'm a naturopathic doctor. So if you'd like to see my work, this is my natural medicinary, my behind you. So, couple things before we get started. They are doing repair on Comcast, I guess the building. So my computer is offline. So we're doing this from the iPhone, I'm connected to my iPhone. So hopefully it is a 5G network, supposedly Verizon. So I just need to find out if people can hear me, if I'm, excuse me, if I'm freezing at all. Just let me know. Let me know everything. This must bring back memories for some of you new members, or for some of you who've been with me for a while. Remember the days when we used to all get together around the kitchen? Hi, Eileen and Richard. So we'll just wait a few minutes until everybody finds the stream. Yeah. So that's the situation. Comcast is in the building. They have turned off our Comcast, so we're shooting everything from the phone. Let me know what you're eating and drinking, where you're coming from. My cough should be okay. I'm going to make myself a nice strong cup of tea while everyone's getting here, and be sure and tell me what you're having. I'm coming in loud. Woohoo! What do you think of the lighting? Excuse me. I've got two lights. I've got two overhead lights. Could have had a third, but I chose not to. I'm liking how it looks here. You've got your second light here, and this is my main key light over here. Isn't that fancy? I know all this fancy schmancy stuff, right? Oops. Where's my little stir? Thank you to the person who recommended monk fruit. I absolutely love it. Wow. So I did something unbelievably expensive because I woke up not wanting to cook. I decided to support DoorDash. Yes, I thought, do I work or do I start? Look, I don't want to clean. I know I need to eat right. I know it needs to be mostly plants. I thought, what the heck? I'll support a local vegan business. I am not a vegan, but I try to have as many vegan meals as I can throughout the week. So what I do is I order a lot of stuff and then I eat it throughout the week. So I just warm it up because I'm busy and it's expensive to order. So you might as well order for like 3 days since you're paying all the delivery and the fines and the tip. So I didn't do that much, but I ordered like a few meals. I ordered a large Korean vegan dragon bowl with tempeh, large salad, and 2 different types of juices since I'm trying to mostly juice. And I'm off most sugar. I was able to convert to monk fruit, and 50% monk fruit, 50% table sugar is what I'm doing. So that reduced my sugar in my tea by 50%, and that's the only sugar I'm having right now. OLC had a burger and fries in upstate New York. Well, that sounds pretty tasty. Skip Bird had zucchini noodles with turkey bolognese. Well, that sounds like it would be keto, right? That's low carb, probably really healthy for you. It's not sugar that I'm concerned with my patients, it's fat. I'm whole if it's a sugar that's in a whole food, like if the sugar's in a strawberry or something like that, then I don't count those sugars. We're talking about sugars that are isolated, like corn syrup or something like that, not in a whole food where the glycemic load and index is low. So when people say only 25 grams of sugar, I always say, I hope people are not including fruit because fruit is actually really good for you. Loaded with antioxidants and really easy on your liver and on your system because you eat a melon and it doesn't have to be processed, just the vitamins and everything, they easily digest it. It takes 20 minutes to absorb watermelon. So if you're doing a fast and you're feeling weak, one of the best things you can do is just eat watermelon. And it's also great in terms of electrolytes. As a naturopathic doctor, if I would say to people that one of the best times to fast is in the summer when there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that are readily available. And that's probably traditionally when we would switch to a mostly plant-based diet because human beings are kind of opportunistic eaters. If you look at us as gatherers and hunters, whatever we could get a hold of, right? So in the winter, we tended to, slow down, eat more fat and meat, and then hibernate, right? Because you need those calories. Where in the summer, there's theoretically fruit all over the place, so you can go lighter. Yeah. One of the things they also teach in macrobiotics in naturopathic medicine is to try and eat with Gaia, eat in the season. She knows what she's doing, the Divine Mother, right? She knows that you're going to want to pack on calories in the fall and winter because winter is coming and food is scarce, right? So we hibernate, we tend to burn less calories, we tend to be depressed, which causes us to be less active. And that was a defensive system, right? To keep us from going extinct, right? Not burn so many calories. So people are sleepy in the wintertime. I really feel it here in the Pacific Northwest where you'll get like 90, 150 days of straight rain. I love strawberries. So yeah, I got two juices. To just eat for the day. While people are getting here, I'll show them to you. I'll give you guys an idea. So this was my breakfast because I'm starting to do mostly cleanses now because we're now into May. So I'm dropping the calories. If I crave animal protein, it's going to be lean. I'm going to remove the fat. But so I had a berry smoothie. I could have made this from home, but it was just one of those days where I was working in front of the computer, and I don't want to have to wash dishes and stuff. So I got my berry smoothie. And then my lunch evening meal, I just put this in the refrigerator, is Power Greens. The Power Greens are amazing. And this also has some natural plant protein in it, but this is kale and greens and lemon and ginger. So it's really good for the liver. So I'll put that back in the fridge. But so I'm doing 2 of these, and then I'm doing the brown rice, beans, and veggies as my main meal. So if I can eat like that, and that's the meal, that's the food, that and a coffee or a tea occasionally. If you can eat, and you can make this stuff from home. I have a garden and I grow stuff. It's actually the most affordable diet on the planet if you are, just living on rice, veggies, beans. But and then you can supplement with lean animal protein if you feel you need it, like fish. Fish is good. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I thought I'd share my meal with you guys. All right, let's get started. Vegemite, love Vegemite and toast. But when I have my Vegemite, I have it with a little butter and a sharp cheddar cheese or a medium mild cheese. It's good. Love my Vegemite. Well, I usually get the Marmite actually, but Vegemite is pretty good too. I think they taste pretty similar. Can people taste the difference? I can't. Oh, Jill is having kombucha. Nice. Hi, 1111. Good to see you. I never got the coffee you sent. I think it got sent to the wrong address. Oh, well. You sent me a beautiful coffee and I never got it. Miss Mom, hi. Welcome. Oh, 17-year-old, that's tough. What you can do is you can do those age progressions, or you can take her to a junk food restaurant and point out the 50-year-olds that look like they're 70 and say, that's what junk food does to you. Take them to a fast food restaurant in a mall and show them what 30 years of junk food turns you into. That usually snaps most young people out of it. All right, so I just want to start by giving gratitude to all of you for being here. I think we can go ahead and get started. We're going to do some tarot card blitzes. We'll do a little bit of remote viewing. If you could like and subscribe the channel, I would totally appreciate it. And thank you. Thank you for allowing me to live the dream. And while we're at that, I want to give special gratitude and a welcome to our latest members. Boy, do I appreciate you. Wesley Starrett, hi and welcome. You just joined today and we're glad to see you. Christine Rogers, hi, Christine. Michelle Knight is back again. She rejoined. Thank you, Michelle. Lovely woman. Good to see her here. Annie1313, hi, and thank you for supporting the channel. Janice. Thank you. Queenie the Genie. I like you guys' names. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, you'll be happy to know that the donations and the funds that we're raising for the channel have gone to some amazing, amazing stuff. I just purchased a professional voice microphone to record songs. So I'm going to be recording some music for the members. Yeah, I've been building my own in-home music studio to entertain you all. As you all know, I'm a folk singer. That's one of the things that you've been funding, is my ability to pursue that. So I'm grateful to you for that. So yeah, we got ourselves a $350 microphone, woohoo, for the vocals. We also got we got an attachment mic to get rid of the noise. So yeah, the audio is going way, way up. We purchased professional audio. It's around about $1,000 just on the audio. And the lights. I ordered 2 new lights as well, 2 new side lights to increase the lighting on the channel. And yeah, a bunch of all the audio equipment. I've got most of the audio equipment now for building the in-home studio. So again, just unbelievable gratitude to you all for allowing me to do that. And I also want to give a shout out to my Patreon channel. I usually will do my music up on that channel. I'm going to put up a new song for the members and Patreon tonight. But a shout out to Tamara Rose and to Leah. Thank you so much for supporting me over at Patreon. So we got to talk. What do y'all think about what's going on in the world? There is so much to talk about. Hot topics, hot topics, hot topics. Oh, yeah, boy. Who do you think bombed the Kremlin? They look like local drones. Do you guys think that it's some local mercenary, some local group that's not happy with Putin? He's had multiple assassination attempts. We have that. We have the writer's strike out of Hollywood. That's going on. The protesters still are raging in Paris. We kind of had predicted that was going to happen when we did a remote a couple weeks ago. Let's see what else we can talk about. Taylor Swift has come out as a lefty, a Christian lefty, because there are a lot of them and they're coming out of the woodwork. You can be a Christian and be left, right? So she's come out being against Trump and pretty passionate. So that's been exciting. Also, we can talk a little bit about Jamie Foxx. Evidently, he's awake and alert and is thanking people for their support. We can talk about that. We can talk about the Ukraine war. That's been interesting, watching watching Russia kind of go up in smoke. I mean, you wonder if they even have a military at this point. They've lost 170,000 soldiers in Ukraine, according to guesstimates, out of various different groups, I guess, assessing these things. 20,000 in Bakhmut in the last couple months, most of them Wagner people. Yeah. Gordon Lightfoot has passed. Great musician, great artist. My mother bought one of his first albums that a lot of people don't know. It was before he really became famous, and we used to play it over and over and over again. It was great. It had all of his early hits. Yeah, I think. You think so, Joel? You think Russia has collapsed? I can't imagine how it could continue. Now it just looks like the military in Russia is not all on the same place. You have the head guy, Sergei, or whatever his name is, the butcher or whatever they call him. He's gotten in with Putin, and he's saying, well, we'll just make more bombs because they don't have any ammunition. So we'll escalate the number of bombs we drop on Ukraine. So what do you think about that? What do you think the spiritual lesson there is? I think the spiritual lesson is this is what happens when you have an ego and you can't admit you screwed up. Can't admit you messed up. Putin can't admit he screwed up, that he got it wrong. And so he's going to continue to fight with, 20,000 soldiers dying every month because he can't admit that he screwed up. So we can talk about that. E. Jean Carrol, a lot of people, I guess Trump didn't have a single person come to his defense. Is that correct? Unbelievable. Hi, Mel Broussard. Good to see you here. Hi, Be Grateful. Thank you for being here. Steve Myers is here. Oh, and you heard today that more of the January 6th heavy convictions for the January 6th, was it 3 people with sedition today? What was it? Seditious conspiracy? Oh, 50% xylitol, 50% coconut. That's nice. Yeah, this is 50% sugar, 50% monk fruit. But once I finish the sugar, I have 2 bags of coconut sugar, so I'll do that. I'll do the 50% with the monk fruit. It was 4 that had the seditious. Wow, that's crazy. Hi, Sue Malik. Hi. Hi, Mine Michelle. Hi, Cher Bear. It was Proud Boys. Hi, Melissa Miller. Let's do the empath's prayer. You guys want to do some blitzes? Are we going to blitz away? Yeah, be grateful. Unbelievable. Because they're blaming Trump and saying they're following Trump's orders. So what is that? I mean, these early convictions, they're saying he told us to do it. How do you deal with that? Okay, let's do the empath's prayer. Let's do it together. Send some good vibes out to the world. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys. to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. So you guys like this room more or my bedroom setup next to my altar? What do you guys like more? I'll let you guys decide. We used to shoot everything in my old kitchen 4 years ago when we first started doing lives. Remember that? It's nice here because you can see the medicine. You can see, and I believe just having the plants in your home, they work with your spirit because they're conscious beings. So if you want to have a relationship with the plants, it's good having them around, working with them, whether it's making a tea infusion down there. You can see I'm doing fermentation. You can see with the kombucha machine down there, all of that set up here. Oops, go that way. Can make wine, but you can also make fermented products. You can see also my vodka down there. That's used for alcohol extractions. I've got a tea thing up there just for infusions. I've got all my books that go from here all the way down. Down here, you can see a grinder. I use that to if I get a patient that orders certain herbs that have to be ground, I will just grind them here. It's nice. I like to be around my medicine. I mean, I like to be around it. It makes me feel good. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got for blitzes here. Let's see. Questions people are asking. A red question mark would really help. Good to see everyone. Oh, you love my pantry, Melody Harmon? I love my pantry. I really work to create heaven on earth. You know, that's what Gaia wants us, right? She wants us to surround ourselves with the things that bring us joy, and then when we're in a really good place, share it with others, so that's how we create heaven on earth, right? You are obligated spiritually to create happiness for yourself, right? Okay, let's see what's going on with Trump and E. Jean Carroll. What do you guys think? Terrible cards lately, huh? What's going to happen to Trump with the E. Jean Carroll case? It's a new beginning in his life. They worked their asses off on presenting this case. They over-prepared. E. Jean Carroll's team really, they over-prepared. They went above and beyond in terms of what they did for her. You can see there's a new beginning coming for Trump this spring. And in terms of E. Jean Carroll and her team, you've got a 10 of Wands. I mean, they must have gone over her case, her testimony, her statements, etc., prior to the trial, like with a fine-tooth comb. They must have told her it was going to be horrible. You're going against the former president, because they really, 10 of Wands, went above and beyond. The hope and the fear that Trump has at this time is that he will be incarcerated, that he is financially being ruined, but he is also facing criminal charges for other things. And it's a legitimate thing for him to be concerned about, because he probably will be incarcerated. People say it'll be home arrest likely. But you can see here the incarceration card, the 9 of Wands, to be cornered or forced into a corner, defensive, not able to flee. I often use it as a jail card. He may be in a situation, Trump, that he can't get out of. All of the connery and all of the trickstery doesn't seem to help him. He's got a 2 of Pentacles. This is somebody who doesn't like to pay. He doesn't like to pay his workers. He's been known to stiff people. There's tons of lawsuits where he's just stolen stuff. The cards also depict him as somebody potentially with a drug problem and also a sex addiction. So that part of what he's not much different than Epstein. You know, when you think about it, he's not much different than Epstein. His target may be predominantly women as opposed to children, though there are allegations against children that he's attacked children as well. But this is somebody who presents Donald Trump as somebody who may be suffering from sex and drug addiction. And so in his case, he may have felt like he did not have the mental wherewithal to control himself, just like you don't have the mental wherewithal to snort Adderall. This is somebody who, you know, he told himself he was better because I didn't become an alcoholic like my brother. So instead, he resorts to pill popping, pill snorting, right? So doesn't necessarily recognize the fact that he's an addict. So new beginning in spring, and you also have exposure with a high priestess, dark secrets coming out, hidden things coming out. He's presenting as an addict. This was a sex addiction. This is a sexual assault case. The devil can be changed to sex, or, you know, his behavior is not rational. It presents as an addict. The hope and fear again is jail, and then also the success of the case, the Six of Wands. He will probably lose, and he will probably be in denial about the fact that he has lost the case. Two of Swords. He simply refuses to believe things are real if they are unpleasant, like losing the election, right? The 2021 election. This denial that he had lost. If he doesn't like the information, he simply rejects it. And with the Two of Swords as the outcome, it's likely that he will lose, and it's likely that he'll be in denial and he will refuse to accept it. That's what I see. We have a new member, Create Love. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're trying to create love. Thank you so much for your membership. Much appreciated. So in terms of the settlement, Joel, for E. Jean Carroll, I think that he loses. I think the Two of Pentacles is trickery, particularly over finances, which he's been accused of stiffing people. And a Two of Swords with a stiffing means that he's going to do everything in his power not to pay her. He's going to try, and he's going to lose, and he's going to stiff her. That's basic. You know, can you arrest? I think if somebody doesn't pay at that point, can't you? You should be able to like prosecute them. But it looks like he's just not going to pay it. All right. So Annie Hamlet would like to know if we can get any more information about what's happening with Clarence Thomas. As many of you know, Clarence Thomas is in quite a bit of trouble. It appears that he has done some things he probably shouldn't have done, including potentially taking bribes for anything from having his mother's home paid for to education for, I believe, a nephew. He also may be part of the ongoing federal sting operation, which we found out about a couple of years ago, that involved meetings with dark money people on mega yachts in international waters. It's now coming out that Clarence Thomas was in fact doing that once a year with this particular individual. So let's find out. Let's find out what happens. So bribery, secret meetings, clandestine meetings, coordination, and it's particularly disturbing because they had skin in the game in terms of some of the decisions that were being made by the court that impacted them directly or their friends directly. Future of Clarence Thomas. Well, he definitely took bribes. So it's a new day at the courts because of, look, it all goes back to people are accusing Roberts of not being in control of his courts, that it's actually Roberts that lost control of the courts. So you have a new day coming to the courts. Uh, uh, there's also something here about this, that there are standards that are coming up. This happened also in Great Britain, for example, when they did the expose on the pedophile ring. They found that there were all these judges and people. So the kids would go before the judges giving testimony, and the judges would be helping their friends. And so all these pedophile rings, the judges would throw the kid out. So the kid would be re-traumatized, et cetera. So a lot of that stuff started to come out also in Britain. But what's starting to come out in these cards is that there is a growing feeling that there needs to be international standards. So there has to be basic standards for the courts and for the laws that these are the things that the UN talks about. Who's going to be in the UN? Is it a country that recognizes human rights? So if you have members of the UN that don't recognize human rights that are voting in the UN, that's a problem, right? Same with NATO. If you have members of a group, but they themselves don't have their act together in terms of human rights. So what you have here is this international pressure on the United States to address issues of corruption in their courts and dark money, which also the Supreme Court voted to recognize the fact that corporations are people. All of this benefits them directly because they take bribes. So you have a new beginning in the courts regarding international pressure. There's an international campaign in the next 30 days. This is a 1-month period. So it's the entire world is looking at what the United States is doing, whether it's corruption in leadership in France, which is also coming out, France, Britain, Belgium, Germany, corruption in leadership, corruption with politicians, corruption in the courts. Growing evidence against Thomas could reach the point of criminal charges. There's something here also. I keep seeing him under this persistent investigation, almost like they've gone to war with him, almost like the powers that be, like the G-Man has gone to war with him. This is kind of like he's been pursued, passionately pursued by a kind of it's a feeling like they're after him. This is like a Mars energy, the Knight of Wands. What's interesting is that Ace of Swords, which would be victory within 1 year. What's interesting is Six of Pentacles would be potentially a bribe and issues of justice with this justice scale. The fact that he received something. Sun with a Six of Swords could indicate that he's out by summer. I feel like he could leave the courts without being and not prosecuted. Like he leaves the court and he's not prosecuted, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a private investigation that's being conducted on him regarding this kind of behavior, because he always gets, when I go into his records, it seems to suggest that he leaves, and then people think, well, that's the end of it. He left, but that's not the end of it, because he still has these investigations around him after he leaves. But I would be surprised if the pressure doesn't grow to the point where he's out by this summer. I do know that his wife, Ginny Thomas, it was actually Cheney that protected her, which I think is disturbing. They don't want to go after their justices. So that's a problem. So yeah, expect movement by this summer, and there's war against him, and he could be pushed out. All right, is the CIA getting Putin? I think, it's interesting. The CIA is kind of everywhere. The CIA goes in and dismantles governments. They lead to their economic hitmen. If you read the book Economic Hitmen, where they know how to use the press, media, etc. They can dismantle a company, a country, etc. And I can't help but feel, when I look at the energy of Fox News, for example, that they are going through something like an economic hit, that the hidden powers that be that are talked about in The Economic Hitman, it's a great book, by the way, where he was hired by the NSA and the CIA. He would go in, and it was his job to collapse countries and collapse businesses that had become too powerful. Maybe they were influencing the politics of another country. In this case, I think Fox became too powerful, and they began to influence the politics of the country, and it was a threat to the United States. And so they went after them economically. First, they went after them with the election stuff, but that was a company that had been hired by the Fed. So basically it was the Feds going after them. And now these texts are starting to leak. I think it would be very naive to think that the Feds are not actively involved in taking Fox out. So how does Fox respond? Fox responded by cutting bait. When you run afoul of the Feds, and when the Feds are, you were having an international meeting, and now Tucker Carlson is off on mega yachts doing God knows what. So I think they came in and have begun to economically dismantle them. And it's interesting to watch it. So what Fox has done to try and save themselves is, they've cut the cord on anybody they feel. Tucker Carlson is like the scapegoat of Fox and anybody else. Anybody who it came out in the Dominion lawsuit made racist statements or knowingly participated, they'll probably fire them and then to try and save themselves. But let's take a look at Putin and if the CIA is trying to take him out. Isn't it interesting? So now Murdoch has to try and save his company. Now Heritage Foundation has filed a suit against Prince Harry for lying on his about drug use when he entered the United States. You had mushrooms. Why would the Heritage Foundation, friends with Ginny Thomas, even care at all about Prince Harry? Who cares? So, I mean, the fact that they're doing that should be an indication that, in fact, the alt-right is threatened by Harry and Meghan because they want liberal reform. Yeah. Okay. No, the CIA is not trying to assassinate Putin. There's no active assassination attempt. His own people are trying to assassinate him. There are people that may have reached out to the CIA for support. The CIA may be, and the US may be funding certain democratic movements, like Soros donates to democratic movements in countries that don't have etc. So that's why Putin doesn't like Soros. But they're watching him. You can see Three of Pentacles, which would be, it's a real estate card, but it's also an architecture card. So it's about constructing something with him, evidence of. No, they're not gonna take him out. What they're doing, what they're doing is supporting the opposition. This is the opposition. Money. They gave financial support. Also, the CIA might be, for example, I think the CIA gave $1 million to the Dalai Lama. It was linked back because they were funding the Dalai Lama because they didn't support what had happened in Tibet. So sometimes they'll support somebody's movement. There could be political people in Russia that received some aid. You can see here double aces over his opposition. That's money and war support. Like Ace of Wands is a warring card, Aries, fire. And also they are the architecture of things. This is Putin. So not directly, but indirectly, yes. Yeah. April M. Oh, I'm late. Oh man, you are. You're late to tea time, right? It's kind of like tea time together. Yes, you're late for a very important date. Yeah, Joel, I think it's a case of the people take him out and that these democratic movements are being, I'm not opposed to everything our country does. I know it's politically correct to bash the US, but supporting democratic programs outside the United States is something that I think that's great if we are supporting the activism there, because we should be supporting democracy. It's not like the people are doing great and we're coming in. The drone was a pizza delivery gone wrong. Oh, is that what somebody said? No, I think it had anti-Putin stuff all over it. That's pretty funny. Donald Jr. is crying a river of tears. Is that true? Well, that doesn't surprise me that Don Jr. is crying. I kind of feel sorry for Don Jr. Can you imagine having the father that he had? How could you be normal after a father like that? You know, let's see what's going on with Trump's kids. Who here thinks that Ivanka flipped? When do you think she flipped, if she did flip? Well, I guess now people are saying for sure she flipped because she doesn't want to have anything to do with their lawyers. She's kind of like cut off her family, don't you think? That's what it feels like. I mean, she wants nothing to do with them. She's completely pulling back. I don't know. I think she flipped a while ago. Let's look at the future of Donald Jr. Poor young man with some challenges. He's got some challenges. God, I would have a nightmare if I killed an elephant. I would be haunted by the soul of the elephant forever. I'd be begging its forgiveness. I'd be lighting candles. I can't imagine killing an animal like that. That ended up. How could you have good karma after killing such a noble, majestic animal as an elephant and all the other things that he's done? Never mind what he's done to people. I mean, that's kind of what Rudyard Kipling talked a lot about, that you don't want certain things. You get some bad karma when you go around hunting and killing stuff like that. There's a karma to these things. Rudyard Kipling used to talk about that. New beginning for him as well. It's questionable whether, he's having a real hard time in the United States. It may be better for him he's not suited to the US, to be honest with you. I mean, this guy is an Eastern European. Isn't his family from Croatia or Serbia or something. I mean, this guy would be better off in Eastern Europe. I mean, he's having a real hard time here. He's got the feds right over him. Ace of Swords, man. I mean, that's like he's financially a disaster. I worry about his drug problem. Look at that. He can't help his father. This is he has no power. He has no power. I mean, that must be terrible too. If you love your parent, even if we don't always see our parents objectively, and you know what, it's only going to get worse for him. He's got multiple allegations, multiple charges. He needs to go take care of himself. This is somebody who may be struggling with sobriety at a time when he needs to get clean and sober. I mean, look at this, defending against multiple allegations. Look at this, addiction, evidence against him. Completely confused in the clouds, doesn't know what to do. He's being advised to walk away. Don't antagonize anybody right now. Guys want to talk about it? Damn. His cards are horrible. He's facing multiple charges. He's attacking from multiple angles with a 7 of Wands. And with those types of cards, he could be making things worse for himself. It's like his dad. It's like 45 making all these hostile statements against E. Jean Carroll. It's just going to get him in more and more trouble. And that's exactly what you see with his son, Don Jr., with those types of cards. He's only making himself get into more and more trouble. He needs to just stop talking. I'm going to grab some water. Hold on a second. That's the great part about being in your kitchen. You can just go and get yourself some water. I'm liking this setup, man. Maybe we should meet here every day. I got a nice chair. I cough less because I'm not next to the ashes and stuff. Guys like my kitchen? I like having you. See, does this not prove how much I like you? I invite you into my kitchen. We fit 944 people into Whimsy's kitchen for brunch. Well, this is not brunch. This is our happy hour. So my next question for you for happy hour is, how many of you are drinking, a little hard liquor here? Say hi to my friend Nabil. He just texted me. All right, everybody. Be sure and say hi to my friend. Yeah. I should send him a link, and then we can all say hi to him. That'll freak him out. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. I like to freak my friends out. There we go. I'll go ahead and send this to him. Okay. All right, everybody. Say hi, Nabil. Hi, Nabil. There you go. He can read all the hellos. Yes. Yeah. Hi. We're sending you a hi. This is just water from the tap. The water is really good in Oregon. We don't put fluoride in the water. That's kind of I just take it straight out of the tap. Yeah. Nabil, Noble. Nabeel. Nabil. I think it's Arabic. Very pretty name. Well, so I think that, I don't know, do you want to call it karma? Karma is kind of real in a sense, right? In the sense that I can't imagine that someone would behave the way that these folks are behaving and have it be a good ending, right? Like that elephant, that it wasn't even like, didn't they just take the elephant out and he got to shoot it and then cut its tail off or something? I mean, like, I just can't imagine that you would incur good karma after something like that. The external light is too harsh. What do you mean? Oh, this one? The external light is too harsh. Thank you. How about that? Less harsh? Playing with it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do some more blitzes. This is fun. Woohoo! We got almost 1,000 people here. Oh, people are drinking alcohol? Oh, the elephant meat to the natives. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, and the tusk are removed from. I just think it's so evil. I'm sorry. I can understand. Whatever. Hi, Mark. Oh yes, the coronation. Let's talk a little bit since this is Hot Topics Thursday, and we do a little bit of gossiping. Let's talk about it. Hi, Mark. Mark is a good friend of mine. Good to see you. King Charles and Camilla, they are preparing for the coronation. What do y'all think? Is anybody going to be? I might watch snippets of it. Yeah, so let's take a look here. Let's see how the coronation is going to go with Harry. Not interested at all. I'm interested in the fact that he's considered such a political threat to the Heritage Foundation that they've targeted him, which just proves what Meghan had said. They're targeting us. The right is targeting us. Of course, the right are targeting them. They're leftists. They're Bernie supporters. I told you guys before they got married that he was a Bernie supporter. I feel very vindicated. Yeah, you're a member of the common. Yeah, watch. It's part of history. I think it's okay to watch. It's part of history. I do think that the American policy is that we fought a revolution not to be a monarchy. We don't have kings. And so there's some political issues with us sending one of our members of our government to go to a coronation because it's not really a political thing. It's not like the G8. It's a monarchy celebrating a monarchy, which doesn't really fall into the, I don't really think of that. Yeah, Jill Biden is fine because she's not a political person, but it's really, that's the one thing I agree with John McCain's daughter about, is that this love of the monarchy in a country we fought and died our ancestors to be free, so that everybody has the right to vote. And with the amendments, everybody, Black, white, women, male. So to glorify the monarchy is really not really something. So I can see why we don't want to send a political person there. All right, let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's a tradition not to send for that reason, I believe, Melissa. Yeah. Might give the president some crazy ideas. Look at the last one. He got some crazy ideas. Number 45, he wanted to be a king. It's not what we do. We don't do that. There's a lot of anger at the monarchy, particularly in the colony, in the former colonies. I feel a lot of anger. I'm seeing protest. A lot of people are angry about the racism. I think people are angry that Meghan was pushed out. People are protesting. There will be protests. There will be angry protest. I think people underestimated this "Where's Megan" thing that's starting to come up. Rage. People are angry. Protest, bring out the dogs, bring out the horses, fight the mobs back. People are pissed off about the racism associated. They really can't talk their way out of this. There will be protest. King Charles actually really likes Meghan. He actually said, "I never had a problem. I wish that." He doesn't understand why William is having an issue. So King Charles wants to heal this situation. So you have the crowds, you have anger, protest, the king trying to heal the situation, the hopes and fears to be successful. There are some serious changes taking place in the monarchy because you have an intellectual in the monarchy. He grew up, he came of age in the 60s and 70s. So did his sister. I've really enjoyed doing Anne's. I did a remote view of Anne, his sister, and she's absolutely wonderful. I found myself I had been taking care of my horses, and the place that takes care of my horses had a pub, a private pub. And I would go there and I would have like a brandy it's something I enjoyed doing as Anne. But I very much am a liberal. I'm a limo driving liberal. That's how I felt as Anne. And I felt like Anne and Charles had a close connection as liberals who grew up in the 60s and 70s, in love with the Kennedys. They have that kind of energy. And when Trump came to Buckingham Palace, Anne stood in the door because she wanted to see the freak. That was kind of how Anne saw it. I want to see this freak up close. I want to just come say hello. The queen, no, I'm fine right here. I just want to see him. I just want to get a good look at that Nazi, right? So I've seen enough, and then off back to the pub for another brandy. So it was very insightful to see Anne's response she refused to even go in. She just wanted to get a good look at this guy, this freak, right? So you've got some real intellectuals now coming in, and that's exciting. And you've got this great page of cups. That's Archangel Raphael, the healer, coming. Sitting with King Charles. And also the final outcome is academia, intellectual. How do we fix it? So Charles comes with healing and with academia. The people's response is rage and anger. Yeah, he walked her down the aisle. Yeah. That's something that came up in Harry's book, was just how intense the connection actually is. There's this kind of a deep spiritual connection between Charles and Meghan. They really connected. So it's interesting. It's a lot of work, a lot of a lot of pain, and a lot of work. And Charles is going to do a great job. And one of the things he's going to do is he's going to try and heal ill will, particularly in the former colonies, etc. It's pretty impressive. You can see here over the rage, it's like this aggressive action. He's just surrounded himself with intellectuals. This is an aggressive action, but look at this. 10 of Wands, heavy work lay ahead for the King Charles. 10 of Wands, and then healing. His hopes and fears. He pulled double aces. Victory within 1 year would indicate he has a very successful time on the monarchy. Ace of Wands, he will create work for people. So employment, he'll be an employer. The final outcome for him, he will rule as an academic and intellectual. He's not highly emotional. He will be rational and sane in his decisions, and he will think about the common good. He will be a very, very good king. Final outcome is the emperor, reason, logic, sanity, exactly the person you want on the throne, with the juxtaposition of the scholar, the academic, the intellectual. He does very well. He also pulled double aces. think he's going to be a great king. Employment too. He's got a couple companies that hire a lot of people, organic plants, etc., organic foods. He can't be political, but he can inspire a feeling. It is, you saw his cards. Emperor is the prefrontal cortex, right? Emperor is reason and logic and sanity. And Hermit is academia and finding the light and studious. And Archangel Raphael is, of the four archangels associated with healing, the healing waters. That's the archangel that come. We all carry all four aspects, all cardinal powers with us that are typified by the archangels. And they come to us at different points in our lives, depending upon when we need to work with those energies. That's more of a Kabbalistic view. Rather than a Catholic view of the energies, closer to Buddhism, that these are just forces or energies that we work with. But the energy of healing is associated with Archangel Raphael. And that's also associated with with King Charles. So his cards are incredible. I've never seen a leader with cards like that, I'll be honest with you. I mean, Archangel Raphael, double aces. Ace of Swords is victory after tears. The survivor comes and triumphs. And Ace of Wands is entrepreneurship and new beginnings and success. And the final outcome of the Emperor, that's incredible with an academic card like the Hermit. I think he's great. Those are amazing cards. I liked the Queen, but the Queen was not the academic and intellectual who's going to be saving the planet like her son. Her son, who's a liberal, who grew up in the 60s and 70s. And yes, he smoked weed. He did all those naughty things. That the truth is that Harry is Charles unleashed. He doesn't have to, so that Charles is a little envious of him. Also, we've done remotes on Charles where Charles is just unbelievably proud of Harry, because Harry literally walked out and really did an amazing job. And also his wife is pretty amazing, starting a business and all the other great stuff that they've done. No, Meghan is not going to the coronation, but she and King Charles have been communicating quite a bit. They're close. So it's not, the king wanted her to be there. It has nothing to do with King Charles. It has nothing to do with Princess Anne. They're great. It had to do with just security issues and stuff like that. Well, Camilla is the problem. If you read, neither of the kids like Camilla because she's manipulative. All right, we're going to do one more. I think we'll do one more. Will Michelle Obama be Kamala Harris's VP? No, she already said no. She said she has no future in politics. Yeah, so that's a no. Biden resigned for health issues. Let's go ahead and look at Biden. We don't make death predictions and stuff like that. Readers are not allowed to do that. But we can go ahead and see if his second term is successful. Let's take a look. I know you always are asking. I feel so bad for Linda. Because you guys, when's this person going to, and she's trying to, you can't ask her that. You can't predict death. It's a big no-no. All right. Yeah, it's one of we went through, did anybody attend the ethics lecture last night? I think I had 9 people live. We have to do it every quarter. We have to teach ethics. But yeah, you're not allowed to predict death. Yeah. Big no-no. Man, I don't care if this guy's 120. His brain is sharp. This guy, they say he will have a very, very successful presidency, and that he will cut through the BS and you will not be able to gaslight this president. That's the best way to describe the future of Biden's presidency. He presents as the King of Swords. No BS, cuts through the crap. He will create alliances with people that actually care about their constituents. The hopes and fears. He should not try to do too much. Temperance, because he is getting older. However, his legacy is extremely, extremely successful with an Ace of Swords, which is victory after tears for his presidency. Look at this. He's going to start attracting moderate Republicans because he has his other is a Two of Wands, which is partnership. No BS. He will call you out on your crap in front of 200 million people. He has no problems with that. You can either join him or not, but if the Republicans lie or misrepresent things, he will nip it in the bud. Look at this. He doesn't want to hear your crap. King of Swords cuts to the chase, has a sword of truth, slice, slice. Two of Swords, I don't want to hear it. Look at the response from his opposition, the Republicans. They come in with partnership, Two of Wands, and sunny days, which means that MAGA has really split from the Republican Party. You're seeing that with Fox trying to save themselves. Hopes and fears for him. Take it slow, temperance. People are changing, but some people are changing more slowly than others because he is working with those Republicans. We have to save the Republican Party from itself, in a sense, which is what he's saying with that Two of Wands. And then look at that High Priestess card. So this is incredible competence on his part. Final outcome is that he will be very successful. Ace of Swords moves into final position for his second term with powerful, powerful celebration cards. This is an armistice card. It'll often come up when a war has ended. People are dancing in the streets. It can also be a card that denotes a strong female power. In a romantic reading, I often will do it as a lesbian partnership card. Like you have the, some people say that actually influenced the artist, but you have the High Priestess toasting the couple. So if you do give a reading to LGBTQ, this is a female partnership, but it can also just denote a power, celebration, armistice, and also strong time of female leadership, particularly with an Ace of Swords. Yeah, he does great. I'll tell you, my father-in-law, may he rest in peace, he retired at 93. He died at 99. Like a couple months before his 100th birthday. He tried to retire in his 70s. Nobody could do his job. He was an engineer for Gulfstream. He knew everything because he'd been there since the 40s. So then he had to go back and do everybody's job for them. And okay, well, just come back part-time in your, okay, I'll come back part-time. Well, that didn't last. So he was there until his 80s. And he's like, okay, I'm leaving. He leaves. You got to come back again. So he attempted to retire 3 times. So he did fine for himself. And you have that kind of energy also with Biden, in the sense that you have that Ace of Swords and that King of Swords, that steely-eyed realist. You know, also an Ace of Swords, like I said, is a victory card. So yeah, he does well for himself. I'd be very surprised. I'd be shocked with those cards if Biden lost. Because Ace of Swords is victory in battle. So yeah, he's going to win. All right, love, and that was so much fun today. I really, I do. I like this venue. You know, like I like doing it in this space. I think maybe a little bit more even than the other space. Maybe we'll switch it off. What do you think? Back and forth. A little better for my allergies because it's a lot of dust by the windows, and so I cough less over here. So it's much easier for me, I think. Yeah. All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for the donations, the memberships, and all the other ways that you've supported this channel. I think we have something like 210 members now. Awesome. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, please reach out to me by going to the information below this video. You can book through Booksy, or I can give you a quick 5-minute reading through Wizio. Those are pre-taped. All that information is below. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Be well. Play nice with the other children. Yeah, I have to bring the other chair in here, but I think Mila's taking a nap. There she is. Having a nap. Did you have a good time? Sinkanda, I'm glad. Thomas, that's good. Hi, Melody Harmon. Hi, Wendy Burt. Good to see you here. So before we close, who here checked out the ethics video that I did? No? Come on now. All right, be well, everyone. Yeah, I didn't see senility. Senility would have been like a moon card, which would have been lunatic energy. He didn't catch that. Steely-eyed or steely realist, you'll get like sword cards, like King of Swords, which is steely-eyed realist. If you get a cups cards can be emotional illness, like an inverted King of Cups. There was no indication of that in the cards. All right, see you guys later. Thank you. Be well. Bye-bye.